Ladies and gentlemen, fantastic to see you today and so glad you could join us. Welcome to our very special Chinese New Year Travel Festival and to this our dedicated India, Sri Lanka and Central Asia show. I'm Andy, your host on today's show, and I'm super excited about what we have coming up for you today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of Chinese New Year, last year it was the year of the ox. But hey, that is so 2021. We're over that now. It's 2022. And so, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what the symbol is for 2022? Well, it is indeed the year of the tiger. And the tiger represents a year for making big changes, for risk-taking, for adventure, and for celebrating life. And yes, we all want to celebrate life now. So what better way to celebrate life than to travel? Yes, you've got it. So, coming up today, I'll be speaking to Wendy Wu about what makes touring with Wendy Wu Tours so special. We're going on a virtual tour to Sri Lanka to see all of the iconic sites and highlights. Plus, we'll be getting off the beaten track to explore those lesser known sites and attractions, as well as looking at all the fantastic, authentic and fully immersive experiences that Wendy Wu Tours are truly known for. Now, because there is a lot to talk about today, but we can only cover so much in one show. Later, after this first part of the show, straight after this first section, you'll be taken to our virtual travel lounge, where our team of travel experts are just waiting to meet you and to answer all of your important questions. So do stay with us until the end and then come and see us in the travel lounge. So, are we ready to travel? I am. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined now by Wendy Wu, founder of Wendy Wu Tours, who also happens to be one of the most influential people in travel here in the UK, Australia and New Zealand. Wendy, it is great to be with you today.
Great to be with you too, Andy. And everyone, happy Chinese New Year.
Now, Wendy, the burning question, that big question. If you had to encapsulate the magic ingredients, the magic quality that makes touring with Wendy Wu Tours so special, what is it?
Andy, I would say fantastic passion, unsurpassed travel expertise, and a burning desire to serve.
Gosh, Wendy, that is hot.
Thank you, Andy. At Wendy Wu Tours, we have a team of travel experts, who loves nothing more than dig very, very deep into the culture, tradition, history, people, and every best thing that country has to offer, and put together so that when you come with us, you don't just see the country, but to live extraordinarily through the time you are with us.
Amazing, amazing. Did you hear that, viewers? Living extraordinary on your holiday in a different country. How amazing. Can it get any better?
Andy, we also have another team of passionate serving experts. And they love to look after you so well, 24/7, every step of the way. From your visa to flights, to every meal, every hotel, every sightseeing, and every bit of a commentary, every show, and introduce you to the local people. And all in all, when this combined, we want to make sure you have a holiday of a lifetime every and each time when you travel with us to a new country.
Oh, we like that. We like the fact that everything is included. Wendy, on that note, you say that you take care of everything. every step of the way, which is really important on our holiday. So does that mean that you're coming on tour, personally coming on tour with us on every tour?
Andy, we have more than 1,000 trips, so I can't go on every tour. However, just use this year as example. I did join our first ever Spirit of Scotland group and joined the Magic Christmas in Scotland tour. And I have just wrecked the Portugal Uncovered. And I am just about to do the final personal check on Journey Through Jordan. So Andy, you are absolutely right. I do go on a lot of tours and vet them. And as you said, our tours are fully inclusive, which includes everything. Meals, flights, visa, every tour, every day, entrance fee, and guides, the best guides. So whatever you can think of, it's all included.
Wonderful. So ladies and gentlemen, watch out when you're on tour, because Wendy may very well be there with you.
And yes.
So Wendy, we're here, it's the Chinese New Year Travel Festival, and as we heard earlier, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed the year of the tiger.
Yes.
So Wendy the tiger, what does that mean to you, to Wendy Wu Tours, and of course to our viewers today?
Andy, for the last 2 years, we were under lockdowns and we were robbed off the opportunity to travel. Now, it is the Chinese Lunar New Year. A new beginning and a season change of season. And it is the time to sow the seeds for the rest of the year. So for me and for our team, it is our job to showcase and inspire you with our wonderful and the best tours around the world. And whereas for you, our viewers, we want you to come with us and enjoy the ride, and to plan and to select the perfect dream holiday for your 2022-2023 and beyond great adventure.
Oh, Wendy, thank you. It's been great talking to you today. Thanks for taking the time out to be with us.
Thank you, Andy. And thank you, everyone. Once again, Happy Chinese New Year.
Hello and welcome to my top 6 highlights of Sri Lanka and our wonderful 15-day tour titled Highlights of Sri Lanka. Classed as an island of spirit, spice and all things nice, Sri Lanka sits off the tip of India in the Indian Ocean. The sights, sounds, tastes and smells of this wonderful country will literally stay with you forever. Sri Lanka boasts 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites and has been a major trading port and a colonial outpost for the Portuguese, Dutch and British. The influence of these countries is clear to see in the architecture of the buildings and the forts that you will see on this tour. To choose only 6 highlights was in itself a task, as this tour has so many. However, the following highlights stick with me after my visit to this fabulous country. I think one of the first things that springs to mind when I think of Sri Lanka are the tea plantations. Sri Lanka is one of the leading tea producers in the world. Over 1 million of its 22 million citizens work in the industry. On your Wendy Wu tour, you will get the chance not only to see the most amazing scenery as you drive through the Central Highlands, but also visit a tea plantation and a tea factory before enjoying high tea yourself. So why was it so good? As a tea drinker, I was fascinated by the process of how our tea is produced and how different parts of the tea leaf produce better teas. I took advantage of going out and picking some of the leaves myself and witnessed the full process before trying a selection of teas myself. You will also here have the opportunity to buy some tea, and as a real big top tip is go for the gold leaf tea. It really is superb, and you will be a tea connoisseur once you've done this visit. Kandy has to be featured in my top 6 highlights of Sri Lanka, as Kandy is the cultural hub of Sri Lanka. Visiting the beautiful Royal Botanical Gardens is a sight to behold. It is truly stunning. Seeing the Temple of the Sacred Tooth, one of the most revered Buddhist sites in the world, was an amazing experience. And remember, this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. After exploring the remains of the Royal Palace, which is now a museum, all Wendywood tour guests will be treated to a very colourful cultural dance performance. The dance itself actually concentrates on the performer's facial expressions and the colourful and dramatic makeup. A real must-do. Kandy is the 2nd largest city in Sri Lanka and is surrounded by mountains, so it is very, very beautiful. It is religiously important and fairly traditional, a great contrast to the capital Colombo. Animals and wildlife features heavily in Sri Lanka and is firmly one of my highlights. First, the Yala National Park. Wendywood tour guests enjoy a morning and afternoon safari. You will be on the lookout for elephants, deer and many other mammal species, but all eyes will be peeled for its leopards, whose population density here is among the highest in the world. A typical morning safari will be up at sunrise to board your vehicle and watch the world spring to life. It's about a 2-hour transit round, and a truly magical experience, and one I'll never forget. Beautiful peace and tranquility in abundance. On the tour, we will also visit the Udawali Elephant Transit Home, where abandoned elephants are cared for before being released back into Udawali National Park. And finally, the Koskoda Turtle Hatchery, home to Sri Lanka's pioneering sea turtle conservation project, which was established in 1981 to protect the local turtle population. Probably one of the most photographed sites in Sri Lanka, and one of my top choices, is Sagira, home to the 5th century UNESCO World Heritage listed rock fortress, otherwise known as Lion Rock. Surrounded by beautiful manicured gardens and frescoes, you can see Lion's Rock for miles around. For those adventurers among us, you can climb Lion's Rock. There are actually 2 levels. The journey to the first level is fairly easy going. The views from here are spectacular. You can literally see for miles around. For the more adventurous, you can climb to level 2, which is more challenging, but well worth the climb and a sense of achievement. Your Wendywood tour guide will point out the most advantageous spot to take your pictures of the lion's head at its best. But please spend some time strolling around the gardens and take in the peace and tranquility of this fabulous area. Colombo is the capital of Sri Lanka and will be high on the list for anyone travelling here. Modern and vibrant, Colombo is home to 5.6 million people. It is the financial centre of the island and has a fantastic mix of modern life, colonial buildings and monuments. There is so much to do here, and the included Wendywood Tours City Tour will help you decide where you want to revisit. You can explore the Fort District, the historic city centre, the markets, the many Dutch influenced buildings including the Church of Wolvendal and the Buddhist temple, along with Colombo's finest museums. Colombo is also right on the coast, so if you want to take it easy, a beach is never far away. And also, there's great shopping, so for those that you want to take home souvenirs, here is definitely one of the places to do it. Also included in my top choices for Sri Lanka has to be one of my favourite temples. The Dambulla Rock Temple dates back to the 1st century BC and is made up of 5 cave sanctuaries. Inside the caves are the most spectacular and important Buddha images. The complex is huge, and when you arrive you will climb the steps to the temple entrance where you will leave your shoes and then proceed through. The images you will see are breathtaking, and you will want to spend as much time as possible taking it all in. As with most sites in Sri Lanka, you are surrounded by stunning scenery and, always on hand, the super friendly Sri Lankan people going about their daily lives. So they are my top highlights of Sri Lanka. Truly one of the most scenic, lush, friendly places I have ever been to. Highlights of Sri Lanka is a 15-day flight inclusive tour with all meals included. The highlights I have given you is just a snapshot of this amazing experience that awaits you. I just want to leave you with a few other facts about Sri Lanka, and ones you could possibly pick up in a quiz. So did you know that Sri Lanka is the home of cinnamon, and it is in fact the leading exporter, and you will literally see it everywhere in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan flag is one of the oldest in the world, dating back to 162 BC. It is the only flag to recognise different religious beliefs, including Buddhism, Hinduism and Islam. And it is the first country to have a female Prime Minister. Finally, and most crucially, you can travel out to Sri Lanka this year. Our next departure is the 4th of March, and at the incredible start price of £3,065. Please don't miss out on this opportunity. There are very limited spaces left now. And I wish you happy travels with Wendy Wu Tours. Thank you for your time.
I have loved every minute of it. I decided I was going to see the world, and this is the place to see. If you go on one of these tours, you make some great friends.
Since the beginning of the tour to now, it's been absolutely fantastic, well organised. The itinerary has just been excellent. Couldn't have asked for more. And everyone on the group has got on so well. We really gelled together and it was fantastic. And Ken, the guide, has been amazing.
We've had great hotels, a wonderful guide with Ken. It's a really good group. I'm a solo traveller and I usually look for solo travel specialists, but I got in with this group and we've meshed really nicely. We've had a wonderful time. The food has been tremendous and I've enjoyed every minute. Everything has been thought of, everything has been considered. We've not had to think. For 9 days, all we've had to do is be where we're told to be at a certain time. And then we're taken away and shown the most wonderful thing.
Yeah, totally brilliant. We've delivered more than my expectations. Ken, our national tour guide, nothing has been too much trouble for him. So well organised by Wendy Wu. Brilliant tour, thoroughly recommended.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Thomas, expert and travel guru on India and Central Asia from Wendy Wu Tours, has joined us to discuss all the wonderful sights and experiences that we'll find in India. Glenn, great to see you today.
You too, Andy.
Glenn, you're incredibly passionate about India. We all know that at Wendy Wu Tours, having travelled extensively throughout the region. Glenn, it's an area that's rich in wonderful sights, natural attractions and culture. So tell us, what are the top highlights for you?
Well, to pick just a few is actually really quite difficult, in all honesty, because I actually love everything that I've done in India. But I think the three that I would go for, if I were to pick three highlights, the first would have to be Agra and the Taj Mahal. When I first visited the Taj Mahal, you turn through into the complex, and we always go with Wendy Tours first thing in the morning. So at sunrise, the Taj Mahal greets you first thing, and it's an absolute magical sight. Somebody actually said to me, when you see it, you will actually cry, and I'm not a crier, so I didn't believe that for 1 minute. But when you experience it, you cannot fail to feel the emotion of actually seeing that place. And it will stay with me forever. It is truly wonderful. So definitely the Taj Mahal, and that will appear on a number of our tours in India. I think the second good experience, we're going to go south and we're going to look at the Kerala backwaters. It's a real contrast to the area, for example, like Delhi and Agra and Jaipur. It's very green, it's very lush, and you can cruise on the backwaters, and we actually do cruise on one of the traditional floating homes, and that in itself is a real experience. And I think the final one, which has to be a highlight, is Ranthambore, the home to the Indian tigers. And the beauty with Wendy Tours is that we actually spend 2 nights there. So you actually are able to go on a morning and an afternoon safari to see the tiger. And then you can either do another one the following day or just relax around your hotel swimming pool. So it's actually a really true, marvelous experience.
So Glenn, all of Wendy Wu's India tours include the main highlights and the main iconic sites, but to really get under the skin of India, as the specialist that Wendy Wu Tours is, what can we see when we get off the beaten track?
Okay, so going off the beaten track, I think the most spectacular tour that we do will be the Himalayan Kingdom, which actually takes in India and Bhutan. So the first 2 weeks you spend actually in India, and we fly you into Calcutta. So you'll get a true immersive experience of life in Calcutta. And it will evoke every single sense that you have, because the sights, the sounds, it's just absolutely wonderful. But then, using a mixture of train and plane, we go up northeast, and first of all we come to Darjeeling, which is over 2,000 meters above sea level. So again, quite lush, quite green, and you'll see the tea plantations. So with the tea plantations, you'll actually get around and be able to visit them. In some cases, as I did, you'll be able to go and pick tea as well. So you'll know from the tea plant what's actually the best tea to get, and you will be a complete tea snob when you come home, believe me, because you won't want the bottom leaves. You'll definitely go for the gold tip leaves. We will visit a number of monasteries all throughout, and they'll all be decorated fully with flags. And it's people going about their daily rituals and beliefs. It's a truly wonderful experience. Look out for the orchids, because there'll be lots of nurseries there displaying these orchids, and they will literally be everywhere. You probably think they're like weeds because they're just literally everywhere, but really truly wonderful. And we'll also go to the wildlife sanctuary, so you'll see the one-horned rhino. You'll see elephants, and if you're really lucky, the leopards. So once we've done all of that and experienced the trains in India as well, which is definitely an experience, we will then cross the border over into Bhutan. Okay, the absolute highlight in Bhutan really has to be the Tiger Nest Monastery. It's 900 meters above the Paro Valley. And literally it is a bit of a hike to get up there. A beautiful hike because the scenery is absolutely fantastic, but the monastery itself is set on the side of the cliff face, so you have got to walk up there. So it is a bit of a challenge, but very, very doable. And once you get there, the views that you'll see will be absolutely out of this world, and you won't want to miss it. So that the hike, if any difficulty, will slip back into insignificance once you actually get up there. But this, coming at the end of the tour, will will just blow your mind, absolutely. And then after this, we then travel back to Calcutta. So again, you'll see the differences in lifestyles and life in general, and the beautiful wide open space of the northeast and the hustle and bustle of the cities, but all equally as fantastic.
So Glenn, India has some of the most amazing and incredible experiences on the planet. As the expert, Glenn, gotta go, and we want to know, ladies and gentlemen, what gets you really excited about the region, and is there a top tour for India?
They're all fantastic tours, in all honesty, but I think the one that sticks out for me is definitely the 14-day Inspiring India tour. It really gets everything in there you need for a first visit to India. But if you're going on your second or your third visit, you're going in and you're getting everything you need out of the country. So it goes to Delhi, it goes to Agra, it goes to Ranthambore, it goes to Bundi, Udaipur, Pushkar and Jaipur. So you've got all of those areas that are incorporated into this trip. So first of all, you go to Delhi and you'll experience the Red Fort. You'll see all the colonial buildings actually that there are in Delhi, and there are hundreds. You'll get to go to bazaars, absolutely endless things to do there. In fact, the first day we arrived, we actually went on our own steam out to one of the local markets. Felt totally safe. We were the only Westerners there, but it was a phenomenal experience, and one that I would definitely do when I go back actually. You've got Ranthambore on this tour, so as I mentioned earlier, the tigers. And it's great to get a contrast from going out in the morning and in the afternoon. So the morning you're out there, you get up into your hotel, you'll have your coffee and your biscuits, and you're straight out before sunrise, and literally as the world comes to life, you're there to experience it. And it is a great experience. And then likewise in the afternoon, things are calming down, but you get to see it all in a different light. You've got Udaipur, which is you go to the city palace there and the museum, again some more bazaars. Pushkar, the blue temples, and of course Jaipur, the pink city, known because all of its buildings are of a shade of pink. And of course the Amber Fort, which is a big highlight on this trip, before heading back to Delhi and sadly coming back to the UK, because if anything like me, you'll want to stay on.
Absolutely, gosh, it sounds amazing, Glenn. Ladies and gentlemen, doesn't it sound great? So much to see and experience in India. Glenn, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
So ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined again by Glenn Thomas. Glenn, good to see you back again.
And you?
And this time, as you've just seen, we're looking at Central Asia. Glenn, some amazing clips that we've just seen on that video clip there. We're all familiar with Wendy Wu tours and touring in Southeast Asia, but now Central Asia.
Yeah.
A region I know that is vast and culturally and incredibly diverse. We want to know, Glenn, when it comes to those authentic and cultural immersive experiences that will leave us, feeling that we've really experienced Central Asia, what are they? What are your top recommendations?
Yeah, it's an area that has got so much to do, and I think what I've tried to do now is explain a few of them in a few of the different countries, because obviously you're looking at a very vast area. I think if we start with Mongolia, for example, we have a 21-day tour to Mongolia, and we are there for the Nadam Festival. Okay, it's a traditional festival. We have performers there. You'll see everybody going about their daily life. We are actually at the opening ceremony, and they will celebrate with three main events, which is archery, wrestling and horseback riding. and you will get to experience all of this on the tour. I think if we went over to Azerbaijan, a very mountainous area, we get a glimpse into everyday life there. I think these tours, whichever one you go to, are littered with World Heritage Sites, and we include those all on our trips. We will go to a stud farm in Turkmenistan, so again, that's a very unique experience, and we actually stay overnight in a yurt on one of our tours, so you'll get to follow how the Kyrgyzstan nomads lived and experience life in a yurt.
So Glenn, of course, Central Asia, synonymous with food and drink, and with that I know comes a whole array of authentic cuisines. So we want to know, again, ladies and gentlemen, as the expert, what culinary delights get you really excited?
Right, well, throughout this trip, and this is going to make you hungry, believe me, you will have a feast of different foods that you'll be able to taste. And I think if we're starting Georgia, I think first, and the khachapuri I think is how it's pronounced. It's like a cheese bread, so it's the bread incorporated with the cheese with an egg on the top. Absolutely delicious, and is one of the main foods that you'll have to try when you're in Georgia. If we go across to Azerbaijan, we have the dovga, D-O-V-G-A, and that's actually where we can watch it being made, and you can actually get involved in actually making the dish yourself. It's like a yogurt type dip, so like you have your hummus dip, it's like a yogurt dip, and you'll actually be able to make that and obviously taste it. We have the samsa, which is a street food. It's very much like it's a triangle parcel with mincemeat and onion in it and fried, and it's described as a street food, so you'll find it all over Central Asia, and a very tasty dish, so make sure you try one of those while you're there. And finally, I think in Uzbekistan we have their national dish, which is called plov. It's a bit like a risotto, so it's a rice-based dish with roasted vegetables and mutton in there, but that one is a delicious treat to have.
So ladies and gentlemen, as you've seen and heard, there is so much to see, so much to experience in Central Asia. It really is amazing. Glenn, thank you so much for your time today and giving us this fascinating insight into Central Asia.
Absolutely, my pleasure. One thing I just want to mention is we have actually got a tour going out on the 15th of April this year to the ultimate Uzbekistan. So if you want to go travelling, it's safe to go travelling, get it booked on there now. Thanks, Andy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a selection of fantastic and exclusive travel festival offers for you today. Choose from free return flights to Japan, or partner flies free to all of our other destinations, or even a free single supplement on many of our most popular tours, and that is including Japan, saving you a whopping £1,940 per person. Or to help you fly in total style, we're also offering a free one-way business class upgrade to a wide selection of our destinations. Now, some of these offers must be booked by the 14th of February, whilst some of them are the 28th of February, and most are available on tours throughout 2022 and also 2023. So please check our website for all the details. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a big announcement. Are you ready? We have got a brand new service from Wendy Wu Tours. Now, we know that getting all the paperwork and the testing done before you travel can be quite daunting. So, ladies and gentlemen, just as we look after you every step of the way on tour, we're now taking away all the hassle and worry for you before you fly. So I can exclusively reveal to you today the launch of our brand new travel concierge service. Now, this new service includes either a pre-departure PCR test or 3 lots of lateral flow tests. Plus, you also get 3 personal calls from our travel team. You get a call before departure where a team member will assist you with all of your paperwork. You get a call before you fly home again, where again one of our team members will help you complete your paperwork for returning to the UK. And you also get a call when you arrive home just to make sure that everything went smoothly for you. Now, the current price for this new service is £199. But as a special attendee today, our new travel concierge service is just £99 per person. But you must book by the 14th of February 2022. And so, if all of this has really whet your appetite for travel, and just like me, you can't wait to get away, take a look at these incredible destinations, these getaways that are going to appear on your screen now. These are all departing in the next few months. Let's travel. So, ladies and gentlemen, fantastic to see you today on our special Chinese New Year Travel Festival. And we hope you enjoyed your travels in Sri Lanka, India and Central Asia just as much as we did. So now, as I mentioned at the start of the show, what you've just seen is only part of today's show. The discussion is going to continue now as we head over to our virtual travel lounge, where our team are ready to meet you and to answer all of your questions. And if you've never travelled with Wendy Wu Tours before, this is the perfect time to ask all of your questions on the destinations you've seen and heard about today, as well as escorted touring. You may want to ask, when is the best time to visit? What hotels are we going to stay at? And importantly, how safe are we going to be now on tour? We want you to travel with full confidence, and that's why it is really important to hear from our travel experts and to put forward any questions, and I do mean any questions that you have. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see the link on your screen for the travel lounge. Just click on that link and you'll be in. It has been a real pleasure today. I've totally enjoyed it. So now, thank you. Let's head over to that travel lounge and I'll see you there.
We found Wendy Wu to be spot on from start to finish, with all the actual interactions from the booking to the preparation for the trip to arriving at the airport. It's been painless and faultless. Wendy Wu, they really do look after you.
I've been on other tours before, and Wendy Wu definitely includes sort of a lot more, it makes it a lot easier.
I liked the idea of what Wendy Wu offered. They have an excellent reputation. So I looked at a number of other tour companies, but Wendy Wu seemed to be the best.
Everything being included is really important. It makes it very, very easy and you don't have to worry.
I just felt confident that that Wendy would know, the best places to go and the best things to do, and it's proved so far on the trip, it's proved correct.
I've been really impressed with not only right from the start when I rang up to book, the staff in the office were really helpful, just kind of organising things and making sure that we got all the right paperwork in.
Our national escort was Lily,
Lily's been fantastic, so full of energy and so helpful. She calls us Lily's family. She's always referring to us as Lily's family. And I think she's really helped us actually bond as a group, which made the whole trip much more enjoyable.
The Great Wall was extraordinary. It genuinely brought tears to my eyes, looking out and seeing, understanding the history, and just seeing how it was built in inhospitable terrain across the mountain ridges. It was awe-inspiring.
Wendy Wu's staff, the local guides, our national guide Lily, they've been more than helpful on many occasions, and they have done absolutely everything they can to ensure that we've had the trip of a lifetime.
I hugged a panda, which was an amazing experience and one that I will never forget.
I recommend Wendy Wu tour to everybody, and tell them that if they want to go to China, nobody better than Wendy Wu tour.
I will recommend Wendy Wu. It's been a terrific experience with them. I've been very pleased.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I'd recommend it to people that want to go on an adventure and visit somewhere they'd probably only see once, but to see the authenticity rather than just the tourist highlights that you could see internet.
I will certainly recommend Wendy Wu tours when I go back to England. In fact, I'm sure we'll be going on more Wendy Wu tours because we want to go to Vietnam and other places, and I'll see Wendy Wu do those tours, so we'll certainly be booking again with Wendy Wu.